And we've come up with a design that puts 12,000 people in one building.
The Apple Park is a uniquely designed 4-story structure that sits directly on Interstate 280 in Cupertino, California. It's not very far from the previous headquarters of Apple, located at Infinite Loop. Because of this oval-shaped road, these 6 buildings were arranged circularly, almost resembling the design of a university. As Apple continued to grow, it needed more space for its employees, so the company was forced to rent nearby properties to accommodate its total strength. It was pretty clear by this time that Apple needed a more coherent workspace instead of the giant mess that they were working from. The new 360-acre property was previously the home of HP Company, where Steve Jobs did his summer internship, so this location was also somewhat personal to him. As for the design of the ring, the circular structure, even though relatively more expensive than a rectangular one, was aimed at increasing interaction between workers. Apple's chief design officer at the time, Jonathan Ive, worked closely with Norman Foster, both big names in the design and architectural world. Product was a stunning piece of architecture that is both Californian in spirit and also reflects Apple's innovative strategy. It was hoped that by cramming this many people together, ideas would be more freely exchanged and workers would collaborate with people outside their team. At Pixar, Jobs would force his employees to walk long distances to find the nearest bathroom. In his view, more interaction among workers resulted in greater collaboration. Another way Apple Park facilitates creativity is by incorporating the Californian landscape in its design. Steve Jobs' vision was to make Apple Park appear less of a business space and more like a natural refuge. And he did just that. Before construction, only 20% of the area was green. The rest were buildings crisscrossed with several asphalt parking lots. As of today, 80% of Apple Park is green space with a magnificent central courtyard featuring Californian-style orchids. Before we go into further details of the courtyard, take a moment to subscribe to our channel. We're committed to releasing 2 videos each week, so your support's much appreciated. There are 9,000 trees spread across a 30-acre area. And these aren't just any random trees, just like Apple isn't any random company. Jobs was fascinated by the quality of the oak trees surrounding Stanford Dish and asked his team to hunt down the man behind this. That man turned out to be David Muffley, who Jobs hired to cultivate California's natural environment around Apple Park. Courtyard was planted with apricot, olive, and apple orchards, as well as a herb garden near the cafe. Out of 9,000 trees, 300 of them were indigenous. Some space was also allotted to native Californian grassland. All of these hand-picked plants were drought-resistant to better suit the area's climate. Muffley had to procure almost all of the trees from scratch, as very few of the existing trees were usable. There's also a circular artificial pond inside the courtyard, no doubt inspired by the ring shape of the building. A green path in the middle of the park will allow employees to walk through nature as they cut across campus. This meadow closely resembles that present in Stanford University. This path leads up to a colorful stage that Apple uses for speakers and performances. The stage is decorated with rainbow-themed semicircles. The colors are reminiscent of the original Apple logo. Apple Park's opening ceremony was held at this stage, jam-packed with employees to give a tribute to Steve Jobs. Although some might suggest that Apple's nature-friendly approach is a good PR cover, science supports their claim. Several studies suggest that spending time outside can improve cognition and creative thinking. Let's turn to the design of the building itself. The campus uses only glass for its walls, allowing an uninterrupted view of the landscape. Creating a perfectly circular building wasn't cheap. It cost Apple $160 million to buy the land and $5 billion to construct it, making it one of the most expensive buildings in the world. Many of the costly aspects of the campus were insisted upon by Jobs, who would hold 5-hour-long meetings about the project even during his fight against cancer. He hoped that in the future the benefits would outweigh the cost. The massive building facade features 845-foot-tall rounded glass panels that connect around the 4-story structure. Apple has claimed them to be the world's largest curved glass panels. Some of these panels function as large sliding doors, allowing for an interior to be exposed to the outdoors during nice weather. To protect against earthquakes, a Japanese system called base isolation is used. The isolation system consists of 692 large steel saucers located 2 stories underground. As for the base, 4,000 concrete slabs, which span up to 48 feet, make up the ring's floors. Some of the slabs weigh 27 tons. The ring is divided into 9 sections, adding up to a 1-mile circumference. It is 4 stories above the ground and 3 stories underground. Being famous for its extraordinary attention to detail, Apple Park is full of them. All interior wood used for furniture was harvested from a certain species of maple, with Apple working with the construction companies from 19 countries for designs and materials. The white canopies around the glass wall not only provide shade against strong sunlight, but also provide a pathway for natural air. That's why the building doesn't require heating or cooling for 9 months out of 12, making it one of the greenest offices on the planet. Moreover, the building's a big carbon saver, as it's entirely run on renewable energy. The roof is fitted with continuous solar panels that generate 17 megawatts of power, sufficient to powering 75% during peak daytime. It's one of the largest solar roofs in the world. The rest is powered by fuel cells running on biofuel and natural gas. Apple Park's energy-efficient design has earned its certification by LEED. Even the wastewater is reused and used for watering the outdoor cultivations. The interior is based upon an open floor plan with only floor-to-ceiling glasses to separate the pods. This means there's virtually no barrier between the different departments inside the building. Although this was done to maximize interaction, it has its disadvantages too. For starters, when the building was first opened to the staff, people kept walking into glass walls and injuring themselves. Reportedly, at least 2 men received treatment from emergency services for minor cuts to the head after colliding with the glazing. As prevention, staff members put up post-it notes to draw attention to the hazard. These were removed later on for ruining the design and purpose of the building. With open floor plans, there is also very limited privacy. News running around Silicon Valley suggests that some engineers and developers who are used to private offices or cubicles can't concentrate in this environment. Instead of traditional offices, shared desks separated by glasses are repeated over the entire floor. Not even the CEO or other high-level staff would get a suite for themselves. There are 80 pods on each of the 4 floors of Apple Park. The soundproof spaces feature huge collaboration tables made from European white oak. Because of these issues, few teams are relocated to the side of the campus where confidentiality is important. There's a huge cafeteria occupying the ring's entire northeast axis. This quadrupled height dining area is the only cafe inside the building, forcing thousands of staff members to eat together. It may serve as a point of interaction between workers. However, the most impressive thing is that its northeastern facade can move. There are 2 gigantic glass doors, each 50 feet high and 180 feet wide, while rolling effortlessly on tracks beneath the floor. They are the biggest of their kind ever constructed, and when they slide open, they reveal a splendid courtyard where Apple employees can enjoy their lunch. On the northwest of the campus, a 100,000 square foot fitness center is located. Accessible only to staff members, it features gym equipment, changing rooms, showers, laundry services, and rooms for group sessions. As part of the neo-futuristic style of Apple Park, none of the parking space is visible above ground. To provide adequate space for the 14,000 employees, an underground and 2 large parking facilities are built. On the southern end of the ring, 2 tunnels lead to underground parking in addition to 2 freestanding parking structures, each providing 3,000 parking stalls. Next up is the most fascinating structure in Apple Park, and it has nothing to do with the actual office. It's the Steve Jobs Theater. Just looking at its futuristic aesthetic, one's transported into another dimension. The crazy part about this facility is that there are no support columns, just glass panels to support the roof. This makes it the largest glass-supported structure in the world. It also has the biggest carbon roof on the planet, made by joining 44 identical panels. The glass facade allows a 360-degree view of the whole campus from the inside. There's a glass elevator inside that rotates as it descends downward. If you're wondering where the actual theater is, well, it's underground. It can accommodate up to 1,000 people and is intended for product launches and press meets. The theater's first press event was held in September 2017, and subsequently, the iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, iPhone 10, Apple Watch Series 3, and Apple TV 4K were introduced here. To facilitate movement around this huge campus, there are 1,000 bikes available, along with miles of cycling and jogging trails all over the campus. Not every part of the Apple Park is exclusive. There's one place where the public's allowed, the Visitor Center. It's a 2-story building featuring exclusive merchandise not sold at other Apple stores. Furthermore, there's an exhibition space that showcases a 3D model of Apple Park with augmented reality and a roof terrace overlooking the campus. Just the price of the Visitor Center was stated to be around $80 million. It offers 700 parking spaces for the public via an underground garage. Given the huge scale of the project, the construction alone created 13,000 jobs. Apple Park has also had an undeniable impact on the surrounding area. Tourism in neighboring places skyrocketed, along with real estate values of nearby housing. For better or for worse, the new Apple Park has completely changed the landscape of the area. This is the place that Steve Jobs called his home and assembled the first Apple computer in his family garage. From a single-room innovation to becoming a global leader in tech, Apple's success has become part of the local Californian culture. What do you think of this campus? Should other companies replicate this? Comment down your thoughts below. If you liked today's video, hit the like button and share it with others. To watch more architectural videos, subscribe to Visionary Builds, and we'll see you in the next video.